This is WBSM On Demand.
Good morning. Good morning. So here I am. It's the weekend is over, and I'm here now. So I'm Chris McCarthy. Welcome to the program. We are going to have a great show today. We have Eric Caron. Eric Caron is the retired now federal agent who led the raid on the illegal alien organized crime outfit that was running the Bianco factory, right? They had a government contract. Tens of millions of dollars, maybe even about $100 million contract to make web gear and other things like that for the U.S. military. It was being done by primarily illegal aliens who were using fake identification. The whole thing was an organized crime, right? Very organized, supervised, the whole nine yards. Eric Caron broke up that criminal operation, and it was just one of the many things Eric Caron. Of course, he grew up in the south end of New Bedford. His father was a New Bedford police officer. Eric's still a local guy. He wrote the book Switched On, and we're going to talk with Eric in the 10 o'clock hour. He'll be here in the studio, so you can call and ask him questions. Then 11 o'clock, we'll have Ted Nesi. We'll catch up with Ted on the local political situation, right? We got a lot of Democrat senators who are primed to do war against the will of the voters, right? What Donald Trump is trying to do for America, make America great again, you have a number of incumbent Democrats who are going to oppose it. So we'll speak with Ted about that. I'd like to draw your attention now to the New Bedford City Council. So last meeting of the entire City Council, the City Council was greeted with a message from the mayor. He wants to hire another employee. So I thought it was very instructive, the reaction of the New Bedford City Council to that, all right? So many of you are never going to watch the New Bedford City Council on cable television for whatever reason. So I do it so you don't have to. And I'm now going to bring you the reaction of the New Bedford City Council, at least one city councilor, to the introduction of a new position for city government by Mayor Mitchell. Mayor Mitchell will be here tomorrow, but now we're going to go to the meeting of the New Bedford City Council from Thursday night. I think you'll find this very entertaining and instructive. It's infotainment is how I bring it to you. Infotainment. We now join the Thursday proceedings of the New Bedford City Council. First voice you'll hear will likely be Dennis Farias.
How long will the work take?
We're estimating two business days.
2 business days. Mm-hmm. Okay. And will any
so that is
digging be required?
The finishing up of the hearing
No, it is
on the poll. I want to give you the
Any
entire
trenches
clip.
be opened?
Not that I'm aware of. We would have put a trench opening permit with that.
Okay. And it is a busy...
Ms. Longo, right, Longo?
Longa.
Riser. 3A is the order.
Madam President, at this time, I would make a request that we continue the public hearing on 2A, 3, and 3A to Tuesday, November 26th, here in the council chamber at 7 p.m.
A motion been made to continue.
The audacity of...
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Madam President, M1 is communication
Here we go.
from Mayor Mitchell to the City Council notifying of the establishment of posting for the hire of a full-time position entitled Director of Data Management.
For appointments and briefings.
Second.
Motion made to refer to appointments briefing made by Council Abreu, second by Council Baptiste.
On the question?
On the question.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. It's going to be interesting to see who comes to appointments and briefings.
This is Linda
to
Morad.
talk about this position. Frankly, when I opened my papers this weekend, I was appalled to read this item. I bet some of you were as well. Boy, this looks like the innovation officer that the council cut out of the budget. Just got a different name, doesn't it? The audacity of the administration to think that they, in these hard times, are going to appoint a new person to the payroll of the city of New Bedford at a level of M16 with a starting salary of $97,871, when this council specifically said, we're not funding that position. I don't care what you call it. We're not funding that position in this period of time. But the bear comes back with a different cloak on and tells us that all these nice fancy words. We get nice fancy words in every memo from the administration now. Most of the time the memos are demeaning, telling the council that you don't know what you're doing. Council Gomes asked you, the council from Clara Street asked you to put a communication, it's item number 29 on the agenda. I'm sure he'll speak on it when we get to that point, where the administration was chastising us, telling us we didn't know what we were talking about, telling us that they were better, they had better information, better knowledgeable about it. And here's another one of those. And to put it on top of all of that, they're going to fund it out of ARPA funds for 2 years, so that you don't even have to worry about it. In 2 years from now, you'll forget that it's in addition to the team, it's in addition to the health care, it's in addition to the payroll, it's in addition to the pension, and you'll just grant that position and let it go along. Do you think we're stupid? The majority of the colleagues in this room said no in June. It's November. Here you are, back with the same request with a different name. Give me a break. Do you not understand that the people in the city of New Bedford are...
So the apparently the computer here is stalled out. I just see a circle going around. That's Linda Morad speaking on the new data manager position, which we'll speak more with the mayor about it tomorrow. He'll be here as opposed to Wednesday. The mayor's going to come in tomorrow, which is fine. I appreciate that. We're going to get the mayor in this week. We'll get him in a day earlier than we normally do. So
the problem with the ARPA program is you allowed one person to make decisions. Yeah, we had an ability to say, put it in these buckets, but that's been ignored. And you allow one person to make that decision. He didn't ask for your permission. There's really no reason for this to go to appointments and briefings. He told you that he's putting this on and he is advertising it, and he's going to hire this person. And he's going to pay him in the first year $97,871. And in the third year, when he's going to be asking you to put it back in the budget, the person will be paid $107,904, plus benefits, plus pension. Really? Really? Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Council Morad. Anybody else on the question? Motion's on the floor to refer to appointments and briefings.
Roll call.
All in favor, say aye.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
Councilor Abreu. Yes. Yes. Councilor Baptiste. Yes. Councilor Burgo.
No.
No. Councilor Carney.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Choquette. Yes. Yes. Councilor Giesta.
No.
No. Councilor Gomes. No. No. Councilor Lopes. No. No. Councilor Morad.
No.
No. Councilor Oliver.
No.
No. Councilor Pereira. No. No. Fails 4-7.
Motion fails 4-7. The item is still before you.
Motion to take no further action?
Second.
Motion been made to take no further action, made by Council Burgo, seconded by Council Morad.
Now listen to this vote.
Councilor Abreu. Yes. Yes. Councilor Baptiste. Yes. Yes. Councilor Burgo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Carney.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Choquette. Yes. Yes. Councilor Giesta.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Gomes. Yes. Yes. Councilor Lopes. Yes. Yes. Councilor Morad.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Oliver.
Yes.
Yes. Council Pereira?
Yes.
Yes. Passes 11-0.
Motion passes 11-0 to take no further action.
So that was last Thursday's city council. So what does that mean? Well, it means the city council indicated, couldn't have done it any stronger than Linda did, right, when she got up and spoke. Nobody else got up and spoke. I find that to be kind of interesting, right? Now, they had a long agenda, and the reality of it is that was more procedural than anything else, because the mayor doesn't really, he was just informing them he's going to do it. I don't think he really needs them at this round to acquiesce to his desire, because he's going to fund it out of ARPA money, at least for the first 2 years. And he's the sole decider on ARPA funds, as Linda pointed out, right? But in a couple of years, it's going to come back, and it'll have to be on the city budget because ARPA funds will have been expended. It's kind of interesting, right? We've heard that ARPA funds are all spoken for, but they were able to find money to fund this position. Now, look, I think the mayor makes a pretty good case that he runs a very lean staff. Now, it's extraordinarily bloated if you compare it to the previous mayors, but times have changed, right? Scott Lang ran it with a smaller staff. Fred Kalis ran it with a smaller staff. Rosemary Taney ran it with a smaller staff. But, government's different now. So the mayor makes an example that he runs a staff entirely much smaller than most mayors of cities his size. So he makes the argument this data, I imagine he'll make the argument anyway, much like the efficiency person he wanted to put in there, right? That this person will pay for itself in no time at all. And we'll have the mayor here tomorrow to talk more about this. But I thought that was an interesting way to start the week off for us. I could have played it the end of last week, but then it gets lost over the weekend, right? But you have a situation where the mayor is saying, I need another position, and I'm going to fund it out of ARPA. He's alerting the city council. They are taking no further action on it. But they really don't have much of a say anyway. It'll be, the reason I think most people didn't speak on it on Thursday night is because they had a pretty long agenda and a lot of really interesting stuff to talk about anyway. But also the fact that it doesn't really matter what they say, because the mayor's going to use ARPA funds and they're totally up to his discretion what he spends them on. So this real conflict won't come up for a couple more years. But it is interesting, right, to see that the mayor is going to spend more money on positions, even though the city council is telling him, please don't. And while it is ARPA funds now, ultimately, it's going to have to come from city tax dollars if the position anyway, and the person in the position is worth anything. So maybe the mayor's argument is, hey, we'll run it for 2 years on the feds, see how it works out, and then if it's worthwhile, we'll keep it and we'll put it on the taxpayers of the city of New Bedford directly. So he's going to get a 2-year trial, I guess. So that's kind of interesting, right? 508-996-05. How do you feel about the mayor adding another person to the payroll, even if it is with ARPA money? And then they become a face, right? A personality that has to be eliminated. It's a lot harder to eliminate somebody who doesn't exist, right? Someone on the org chart than someone who's actually a personality, someone who someone who comes down and can say hello to the city council, right? Read them the data, tell them what they're doing with the data. It becomes a lot harder to eliminate a person like that. We all know the city council doesn't like to eliminate people that actually exist. They like to talk about eliminating people that don't exist. It's a lot easier. I mean, that's how it always is, right? 508-996-0500. We've got two open phone lines. We've got a situation here in the city where, the mayor wants to add more people. The city council's been requesting that he not do that, but he's found a way around it by using ARPA funds. How does that impact you? Well, this year, not much. Could be the benefit, really, if the person works out with the data management to come up with things that the city can do better, more efficient. That would probably be good. But ultimately, if you have to pay for them, it's probably not that great, right? 508-996-0500. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Chris.
How you doing?
Are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. I am. I called and talked to the mayor the last time you had him on.
Yeah.
And asked him, I said, you've been in office for years. And when are you going to start to help, the tax burden, help relieve the tax burden on small businesses and homeowners? And what do you think you could do or come up with? And here we go. Here comes up this position. I watched the council, and when I heard that after talking with him, I'll tell you what, we need change in New Bedford, not only in the mayor's office, but also on that council.
Yes.
Because like you said, nobody else got up and said anything. They just sat there. And we have a lot of guys just going through the motions, guys and girls going through the motions on the council. And the only way we're going to have change in the city of New Bedford is for the voters to make change. How do you feel?
Oh, I agree with you. I think that you've got some real shining stars on that council, and you got some other people who are just going along to get along because they're coming up on being able to collect their pension and never have to do anything. Then, not that they did much to begin with. They're getting their health care, getting their $50,000 a term, plus the health care, plus the pension credits, and soon some of them are going to vest.
Yeah, I just, I asked the gentleman, Mayor Mitchell, what he could do. And just to hear this come around like that, it was basically almost the same day or within a couple days. I was just like, wow. He was talking about a healthcare problem or whatever, but he had nothing else to say about what he could do for the city and everything. Then to hear that, it's like just taking a step backwards again. For me, we need government to be reformed, streamlined, still try to give the services the people need, but we have to help out the small businesses and taxpayers. People are gonna, aren't going to be able to survive. But I hope you have a great day, a great week, and thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, my friend, as always, and thanks for participating in democracy. This is really, for the greater New Bedford area, the best form of democracy is talk radio. So anybody who's never called before, I'd love to hear from you. 508-996-0500. Good morning. Thank you for holding.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
Not bad, my friend. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm kind of curious about this whole deal. I mean, I got two questions. Why can't we use the opera money to help, with the sewer treatment plant issue, seeing our bills are going to go up? Why can't we get some relief that way? And I understand correctly, they said that position would pay for itself. How's it going to pay for itself? It's a government job. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
It's not like it's bringing in a business or something. I'm not understanding that.
So I'm not quite sure what the position's going to do, nor would I have expected, the city council. Well, only one of them spoke, Linda Morad, and you heard her opinion on it. I would expect the mayor tomorrow will come in and explain to us what he's hoping this person will do, in terms of maybe ending redundancies. I'm not sure what exactly the position is going to do, but we'll ask the mayor tomorrow.
But can we use the opera money to help us with our tax problems, our sewer deals? Because aren't we have to upgrade our sewer plant and all that? Why can't we do that with the money instead of hiring a person?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a legitimate question. But to be honest with you, I don't think $97,000, which is what he's looking to spend here, would make a dent in your sewage treatment plant. What you need is, and you're not going to get it, by the way, is a much bigger involvement with the federal government. The whole region needs that, okay? All of Buzzards Bay needs a new sewage treatment plant for New Bedford paid for by the federal government. But we don't have the kind of juice in Washington that we used to have, and you're never going to have so long as you keep selecting the same old tired Democrats to go there. Really, quite frankly, you're not going to. Washington has changed. Massachusetts has not. And for that, we are going to pay the price. That's just the way it is. Folks, if you don't want to pay a big price, head over to Shooting Supply. Shooting Supply in Westport, your go-to place to celebrate the Second Amendment. They have great revolvers over there, Smith & Wesson revolvers. Sign up for the website on shootingsupply.com. The email specials get you the best prices in the region for all kinds of great specials at Shooting Supply on all the best guns. They've got Smith & Wesson revolvers over there in stock with a great refund. All the revolvers have a refund. They've got great Black Friday specials coming up. You can learn about the Black Friday specials early by signing up for the email alerts at shootingsupply.com. Right on State Road in Westport, shootingsupply.com, a great sponsor of this program, a great sponsor of the Second Amendment. We're going to take a break. If you're on hold, stay there. We'll be right back.
Oh, you probably screwed it up.
I probably did. Still doing it.
I don't know what it's doing. I can't hear it.
I can't.
A new road's waiting, you touch my life. Oh, soft and warm on a summer's night.
All right, welcome back to the program. I'm Chris McCarthy. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
So you had made a comment that I guess sparked something in my mind. You had mentioned that there are some city councilors that are just there to collect points towards their pension and health care and so on and so on.
Yes.
So that brought to my mind, and I looked online, if there was like a database, a public database that you can search and see what's the amount of the pensions that city councilors are getting or former city councilors are getting. I can't find anything, so maybe I would imagine you're more resourceful than I am. Is there a public database that I can see what the pensions of the former city councilors are getting to see what the draw is?
So I would imagine that you'd have to go through the retirement system to get that information, and I imagine that may be private. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I know that state pensions are public because Howie Carr, who's on this network at 3 o'clock, he's made a big deal out of state pensions, and you can find them on the Boston Herald website, but they don't touch the city council. I don't believe, anyway.
No, they don't. I've looked there. I've looked at the former Barbara Anderson's organization.
Yes.
They have that, too. You can find teachers and universities and so on and so forth, but I can't find anything about pensions. Nowhere. Regarding New Bedford or city councils or anything. But if you say it's the board, I would imagine it's not online. You have to go in there in person and do it. But I was hoping that there would be something online so that one can do it discreetly from home.
Right. Yeah, they don't want that. I know that, for instance, you cannot figure out who by name takes the health insurance because they claim it's HIPAA related. I find that to be really egregious. I mean, HIPAA has to do with your medical issues, not to do with whether you take health insurance from the taxpayers.
I totally agree with that. I understand that point, but maybe one of your callers may know somewhere. I mean, is it $50,000 a year? Is it something like that? What's the draw? What's the lure for this pension, and what's the amount? So
I know you get health insurance when you take the pension. When you qualify for the pension, you also qualify for health insurance for your remaining years. So that's when you hit 65. So that's a nice addition to your life. Obviously, the cash amount is not that great because they don't make that much. They make $25,000 a year. But it's a few bucks, and certainly a nice kiss in the mail that other people aren't getting.
Sure, I totally get it. But I would love to know, how much is that kiss in the mail that they're getting? Is it 15? What's the dollar value?
So
Tom Kennedy, does anybody know? Anyone? Any of your callers?
I would imagine that anybody that knows isn't going to say because they're probably the ones collecting it. But, for instance, Ian Abreu's not quite there. Remember, you don't get it until you retire. So you need 10 years on the council. So Ian Abreu's coming up on his 10-year deadline. I believe Maria Giester is coming up on hers. Brian Gomes has certainly passed his 10 years of service on the council. Linda Morad has. I don't know who else is within striking range. I know that Ian is, and I know that Maria is. Other than that, I know that Linda has long ago vested. Brian has long ago vested. That's all I know off the top of my head.
Well, thanks for taking my call.
No problem at all, my friend. 508-996-0500. The mayor is looking to add another position to the payroll of the city council, of the city of New Bedford. And he's going to use ARPA funds this time to do it because the city council last time around budget season zeroed out the position he wanted to fund. As Linda Morad pointed out, this looks a lot like the position they zeroed out. He's bringing it back, and he alerted the city council to it this time around. They took no further action on it, but they don't really need to take action on it. The original motion from Ian Abreu was to send it to committee, appointments and briefings, to hear it out there. But as Linda pointed out, we really don't need to hear about it because we have no say over it. The mayor's going to use ARPA funds. But in a couple of years when there are no more ARPA funds, then it'll go on the city taxpayers. Then they'll have to talk about it or make a decision on it. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad. How are you doing?
Well, you're not too good. Not hearing what you're just saying. The mayor, $97,000. It's ARPA. Hey, it's only ARPA money, taxpayer money. You work for it, and the Democrats are all the same. It's a big pile of money, and I got to find out how to spend it. And let me just say, you said it's a metadata manager.
Yes, data manager. Yes.
All right, whatever that means, it's whatever the mayor makes it up in his head. He's supposed to downsize the size of government, not increase it, so he can pay more taxes. I think Mayor Mitchell is probably going to be like Michelle Wu up in Boston. She said, if you can't generate the taxes, guess what? They're going to go up 28% on property taxes. If you can't find it from the business community, that's what's going to happen here. This mayor, he needs all of these people working for him for what he should be doing. He wants all of these aides and assistants and heads of departments. I could see having a few, but this guy, by the time he gets out of office, we're going to be in a hole. And we're going to be holding the bag for paying for all of this. Forget about the ARPA funds. That's just temporary. He's going to sock it to you.
Thanks for the call, my friend, as always. Folks, again, I think the mayor will be here. I know the mayor will be here tomorrow, and we'll ask the mayor to explain what he wants this person to do. Again, in his explanation, he's very active around the country with the different mayors associations, and he has a lot of feedback from other mayors, other communities, and I think he's right when he says he runs a pretty lean staff. But it's not lean by New Bedford standards. Lang had just a handful of people down there. Fred Kalis had just a handful of people down there. Rosemary Tanny, I think she just had one other assistant, really. Maybe more, maybe a lawyer. I don't know. I don't really recall, but exactly. But it does seem like I never knew a mayor to have two chiefs of staff in the past, but the mayor does. And again, there's something good about having redundancy a little bit, right? Nothing gets by you as quickly that way. You're on top of things more if you have a few more people, as long as they're communicating properly. So we'll have the mayor in tomorrow to tell us more about what he's thinking about doing with this new position. Stick around. We'll be right back. 5, and I'm talking about the new position the mayor would like to add to his staff in City Hall, a data manager position that going to be paid out of ARPA funds. City Council voted to take no further action on it after a blistering speech, the only speech given on the matter by at-large City Council Linda Moore, is really always watching out for those budget dollars. We know that about Linda. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Chris.
What's happening, Gilly?
Good. I'm trying to stay away from politics, but I had to call in when I heard Linda Morat's speech.
Okay.
She's accusing the mayor and saying that he's only one person to make all the decisions. But see, if you listen to her speech, she's a hypocrite because she does the same thing in City Council. You notice that no other city councilor in that thing spoke except her?
Yes.
Okay. And see, everybody's afraid of her. I don't know why. They should have spoke up. She's doing the same thing in city council, trying to control the city council. She's the only one that's always been, and I can bring other facts about it, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I just want to tell everybody out there, I've been saying this all along, and I said it on one program, yours or Tim's, that if she's voted out for 2 years, you're going to see that city council that's there going to spread their wings, and they're going to get people, they're going to be there for the people. Nobody else spoke except Linda Morat, and she's the one about paying. She's done the same thing down there. She's a hypocrite when she does that. Because why didn't anybody else speak?
I wonder.
Well, I'm telling you why. Because she's attacked every city councilor in that place. You name me, pick a person, and I'll tell you how she's already attacked a person on the floor. Nobody else is doing that to her. And they get the same power as she does. You know what I mean?
No, they absolutely do. They're 11 individuals elected separately with their own terms. You're 100% right about they all have their own power.
Okay, but because you see her. She's the only one that spoke. And she's my colleagues. That's ridiculous. That's all I want to say. But, I mean, I'm trying to stay away from politics because you've seen what happens.
Thanks for the call, Gilly. 508-996. It is like a moth to the flame, though. I do admit that for a lot of us. 508-996-0500. Good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on now. Yes, go ahead.
I'm on now. How are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How was your weekend?
Well, my weekend was another weekend, another day in Jon Mitchell's heaven. No, they didn't speak because you said why they didn't speak. They had a long agenda that night, so they figured, hey, let's get this through and let it go. We need a new mayor. Where is Cincinnatus? He's not around. Okay, will no one rid me of this prosecutor? We need somebody else in there. We need a new set of eyes to take a look at this. He has like a what do you call it? A Maura Healey attitude. I'm surprised he doesn't declare a state of emergency and just run things. We need another mayor. Elections have consequences. How about Mr. Hodson? You think you could get him to run?
He lives in Dartmouth.
Well, move it to New. That's no big deal, Chris. You know that. Come on.
I would say that being the mayor of New Bedford, as prestigious as that is, would be a move down. Yeah, a step down.
Yeah, well, again, if something doesn't materialize through Trump, he'd be the type of personality to go in there, take a hard look at things, and straighten things out. We need someone to come in. We've had enough of Jon Mitchell's windmills. He's John Quixote chasing windmills and stuff like that. We've seen his act. Again, he's just like Maura Healey. They went to the same college, Harvard. They know it all. You don't know anything. You got to get him out of there. This 4-year term that he put into effect has made him mayor for life. Move on. I'm sure he could find another job, less headaches, more money, and I'm sure he'd do all right. And again, this is just ridiculous. He says he comes on your radio station and says, "Oh, I hear people say that they're upset with the taxes." Well, what have you done about it? Nothing. It's just like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and the heck, he's very arrogant. What can I say? Got to find somebody out there. Cincinnati is out there, but again, he won't leave the plow and come to challenge the guy. And I think I think you know what I mean by Cincinnati, don't you?
I do, and I don't know. I don't think he's ready to leave the plow and the proverbial law firm behind, right? I don't think so.
Well, again, this is what democracy is supposed to be about. You don't stay on and be an elected official forever. You do your job, and then you go back home. Just like when you watch the original Gladiator, he comes, he saves the empire, and then in the end he passes, but he goes back home to his wife and child. Okay? And this is what it's supposed to be all about. You don't stay on as an elected leader forever. Even FDR, he stood on for 4 terms, and then all of a sudden,
God, I was going to say, let's not wish that on Mayor Mitchell. Come on.
No, but God took. I'm not saying. No, I'm not.
No, I know that.
But I'm saying it goes to show you don't stay forever. And even like the jump saying to talk about the president, this stuff about having an old president. I know when I talk to you about it, you poo-poo it all the time. As a president too, they got to do something to change the Constitution. They changed it when Roosevelt ran for the 4th term, and from what I understand, watching C-SPAN and everything, some of the people that come on there, everybody knew his time was limited when he got on there, when Harry Truman was put in there.
Yes,
it was just
that's why they got rid of the communist, who was really they had Wallace as his vice president. Wallace was his vice president.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but again, even Trump, he might be okay now, but in the next 4 years, he might go mentis lapsus, and who knows what'll come out.
We got J.D. Vance. That's one good thing about that.
Yeah,
thanks for the call, my friend. They elected J.D. Vance. In the next hour, we're going to have Eric Caron, fresh back from the Sudan, the beautiful, sunny Sudan. Eric Caron, who conducted the immigration raids on the Bianco factory, the organized crime outfit that was running that federal contract in the south end of New Bedford. We're going to have Eric Caron in the next hour. Stick around. We'll be right back. We are talking about this new position that the mayor wants to add to his team. Again, the mayor makes a position that if you look around the country, he runs a relatively lean staff, relative to the other mayors around the city, around the country. Now, by New Bedford standards, it seems like the staff is pretty big. But the mayor says, look, that's what he needs to run the city. And look, I get a lot of calls here from people who aren't happy with the mayor. We've never seen a credible challenge to Jon Mitchell. Never. There's never even been anybody really hinting around, at least in the last 5 years. A while ago there was, but never really got off the ground. Never really got off the ground to challenge Mayor Mitchell. He's the dominant political force in the city of New Bedford. And I think it would, unless he leaves on his own, I can't imagine what it would take to oust him. Really. I mean, he's an honest guy. Probably honest to a fault. He tells you how he really feels about you. Your ideas and you personally. He doesn't hide his disdain when he doesn't agree with you. I kind of find that refreshing about the guy, if infuriating, right? Well, the New England Patriots lost again. Patriots they get an opportunity when they head to Florida, South Florida, to take on the Miami Dolphins, all right? They allowed more than 400 yards in offense against the Rams, right? They got destroyed. So they're coming back. Patriots against the Dolphins. Kickoff at 1 p.m. Pregame starts at 10 a.m. A lot of good stuff in that pregame. So New England Patriots all season long here at WBSM. Come back next Sunday for the Patriots. Kickoff at 1 p.m. Pregame at 10 a.m. Patriots against the Dolphins. Come back for more punishment, right? Anyway, in the next hour, we'll have Eric Harron really